All right, Khan. Shalom, shalom, Israel. Shalom to the 12 tribes. You guys, Allah give them a course. Allah and praise unto the Most High God, Yahweh. In the name of His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shah. This is your brother Yasha Allah coming back to y'all yet another video through the spirit power of Yahweh. By Hashem, Hamashiach, Yahweh Shah. All right. So, shalom, shalom. I'm going to get straight into this. All right, I'm going to get straight into this. So, in this video, we'll be going over what? Right? Yahweh Shah and Him being the rock. Right? Because according to the scriptures, you will read about the rock, right? Now, not talking about Dwayne Johnson. The rock, according to the scriptures, is talking about Yahweh Shah. All right, now let's get some precepts on that. So let's go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 28, verse 16. It says it plainly, right? It says what? Therefore, thus saith the Lord God, behold, I lay in Zion for a foundation, a stone, a tried stone, a precious cornerstone, a sure foundation. He that believeth shall not make haste. So the stone that the Lord is laying in Zion is talking about Yahweh Shah. All right. It says, behold, I lay in Zion for a foundation, a stone, a tried stone, a precious cornerstone, a sure foundation, because Yahweh Shah is that sure foundation. All right. Let's get that precept. All right. He's likened upon that strong foundation, because let's go to that parable in the book of Matthew chapter 7, right? Let's go to Matthew chapter 7, and I think I went verses 23, all right? So like verse 24, Matthew 7, verse 24. Therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them, I'll liken him unto a wise man that which built his house upon a rock. So Yahweh Shah, he's likened unto that rock, that sure foundation. What is he saying? If you take these sayings of his, meaning the word of the Lord, and you do the words of the Lord, right? Then guess what? You're laying your foundation upon the rock, which is Yahweh Shah. Okay, you want to have that good foundation. Whenever you're building a house, you don't just build it upon sand, right? You want to build it on a strong, good foundation upon that rock, like how he's saying, right? Now let's go to the book of real quick. Let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 3. All right, let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 3. And verse number 8 says, he that planteth and he that watereth are one, and every man shall receive his own reward according to his own labor. So yeah, again, this is Paul, right? Paul is saying, look, guess what? Every man is going to receive of his own labor. So the more you put in, the more you're going to get out. And that's what, with anything, what I'm saying? Working out, studying, right? Doing the works of the Lord, etc., etc. It says what? For we are laborers together with God. Ye are God's husbandry. You are God's building. So the meaning that the Most High is building us up. It says what? According to the grace of God, which is given unto me as a wise master builder. So Paul, you have many builders. You have a lot of builders. Paul, right? The 12 apostles, they were building their nation up. When you go to the book of Nehemiah and you read about in Ezra, you read about, guess what? They were building up the temple. Nehemiah, he was building as well. Let's get a precept on that. This is Nehemiah chapter 6. Nehemiah chapter 6, verse 1. It says, now it came to pass when Sanballat and Tobiah and Geshem the Arabian and the rest of our enemies heard that I have builded the wall. So Nehemiah was actually putting that work in, building the wall. All right, because remember, it was destroyed. And it was already prophesied in Daniel chapter 9, verse 24 on down that it should be builded. Right? The temple, the city, and the wall, right? And that there was no breach left therein, though at that time I had not set up the doors upon the gates, right? Now I'm going to skip down to verse 3. And I sent messengers unto them, saying, I am doing a great work, so that I cannot cease come down. Why should the work cease whilst I leave it and come down to you? So he even took building the physical wall, right? It's a physical wall, right? He took that very, very seriously, man. He said, I cannot come down to you. If you want me to come down onto you, I can't do that, man. Because guess what? I'm doing a great work. I'm not going to stop this for anything. That's how Nehemiah was thinking. And that's how the apostles are thinking too, but on a spiritual level. Again, Yahweh Shah talks about building the spiritual house on a spiritual rock. It's not literal. Yahweh Shah is not a literal walking rock, right? But he's likened onto a rock because he is a foundation in which we should build our doctrine upon, and in which we should build our what? Our beliefs, doctrine, way of life upon. Our worldview upon Yahweh Shah. Remember, Yahweh Shah is what? The word. You build your foundation, you build your doctrine off of the word. not off of anything else. All right. It says what? Nehemiah 3 and verse 10. Right. And according to the grace of God, which is given unto me as a wise master builder. So Paul, he was a wise master builder. He came to the Jews. He was going to the Jews. He was going to the Gentiles, the Israelite Gentiles, teaching them, building them up, speaking to them in their language, speaking to them in ways that they will understand. Right. It says what? I have laid the foundation, and another buildeth thereon, but let every man take heed how he buildeth thereupon. For other foundation can no man lay than that is laid, which is Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. So Yahweh Shah, he's that foundation, which, you know what I'm saying, if you have this foundation, you know, you don't have to have any other foundation. Yahweh Shah is already that foundation. It says what? Now, if any man build upon this foundation, gold, silver, precious stones, wood, hay, stubble, you see that? And so upon Yahweh Shah, you're going to build that foundation. Are you going to, upon the foundation, upon Yahweh Shah, you're going to build your building. Whether that's gold, right? Silver, precious stones, etc. Let's go to real quick. The prophets of God, right? Slaki, let me get this precept real quick. I got to find this though. This is, I think it's Ezra, right? It's Ezra chapter 5. Yeah, Ezra 5 and verse 1. And it reads, Then the prophets Haggai and the prophet and Zechariah the son of Iddo prophesied unto the Jews that were in Judah and Jerusalem in the name of the Lord, in the name of the God of Israel, even unto them. Then rose up Zerubbabel the son of Salathiel and Yahushua or Jeshua the son the son of Jehozadak, and began to build the house of God, which is at Jerusalem, and with them were the prophets of God helping them. So you see even here that the prophets of the Most High were helping Ezra, right? Other men that were building the temple up, they were helping them. They were helping alongside with them. You know, so you have the prophets of the Most High out there doing the work as well, right? Building the physical temple up. So guess what they're doing right now? They're building up the spiritual temple upon the foundation, which is Yahweh Shah, right? Let's go to 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 5, right? This is very clear in the text, right? It says, this is it's like your 1 Peter 2 and verse 5. Ye also as lively stones are built up a spiritual house and holy priesthood to offer up spiritual sacrifices acceptable to God by Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. Wherefore also it is contained in the scripture, Behold, I lay in Zion a chief cornerstone, elect, precious, and he that believeth on him shall not be confounded. Right? Unto you, therefore, which believe, he is precious, but unto them which be disobedient, the stone which the builders disallowed, the same is made the head of the corner. Because remember, you have certain men that rejected Yahweh Shah and didn't believe in Yahweh Shah. So when you go to that, and remember what Peter's doing, all he's doing is quoting, right, what the precepts are saying in the Old Testament, right? And he's giving his explanation upon it, right? He's expounding on it. This is Psalms 118 and verse 22. The stone which the builders refused, which is what? Yahweh Shah. That's the stone that the builders refused. All right? They refused Yahweh Shah. They rejected him, man. They didn't believe in him. This says the stone which the builders refused is become the head stone at the corner. Meaning that the Yahweh Shah being rejected, he's become the head of the corner. Meaning the same foundation that you rejected and didn't think that should be a suitable foundation, right, is actually the main foundation, man. Right? That's what that's talking about. Yahweh Shah, right? Let's get this real quick in the book of Isaiah, chapter 52, right? It's Isaiah 52 and verse number 13. Behold, my servant shall deal prudently. He shall be exalted and extolled and be very high. It's talking about Yahweh Shah, right? He shall be what? Exalted and extolled and be very high. But this wasn't the time necessarily during the time in which he came, right? As Hamashiach Yahweh Shah when he walked the earth. He came in a very humble, contrite spirit, all right? And did not lift himself against any, you know? But ultimately, the Lord is going to raise up his servant. He's going to raise up Yahweh Shah. It says what? As as many were astonished at thee, his visage was so marred more than any man, and his form more than the sons of men. Talking about Yahushua, because remember, he was beaten upon, he was smote upon, right? He was chastised of men. All right, when you read the accounts in the Gospels, all right, Matthew chapter 26, 27, you know what I'm saying, the latter chapters of Mark, latter chapters of Luke, etc., right? It says, so shall he sprinkle many nations. The king shall not shut their mouths at him, for that which had not been told them shall they see, and that which they had not heard shall they consider. All right. Yeah. So again, you know, people that didn't even consider Yahushua, man, they rejected him. They didn't consider him. They weren't, you know, Yahushua wasn't that, they didn't think that Yahushua was that sure foundation, whatever. The same is becoming the head of the corner. You know what I'm saying? So let's go back to this in Psalm chapter 118 and verse 23. This is the Lord's doing. It is marvelous in our eyes. So yeah, exactly. Right? Yahushua is that stone that's being talked about here. All right. Yahushua literally is that stone. I wanted to go back to Isaiah, actually, 28 real quick. In 17, it says, judgment also will I lay to the line, and righteousness to the plummet, and the hail shall sweep away the refuge of lies, and the water shall overflow the hiding place. All right. So again, judgment is going to proceed from Yahushua. All right. But ultimately, yeah, that's the point. Right. Yahushua, he's the foundation. He's that rock that we have to build our foundation upon, because remember, that rock symbolizes what? Stability. All right. A rock can't be easily moved. You know, you can't just easily move this big old rock that weighs about what, 2,000, let's say even 2,000 pounds. You can't easily move that, right? You can't easily move that. So, you know, again, this is just a quick video going into who that rock is, what it symbolizes. You know, just pretty brief to the spirit, cut to the point, straight to the point. All right, and with that, all praise to Yahweh Hashem, Hamashiach, Wamalaki Awashai. Right, Lord willing, this video is edifying through the spirit. All right, Shalom.